out.
Oh no, no. You see,
I guess
sometimes you have to.
Of course. Yeah. So we'll find out. We'll see if we can get somebody.
What are they?
However, this letter that they've written,
what do they want?
It has been signed by several people.
Okay. What do they want?
So they are effectively telling the Ghana Boxing the interim committee, okay, the Ghana Boxing Interim Management Committee. So they are saying a number of things. That one, the mandate of the committee has expired.
Says who?
That's what they are claiming.
Okay.
And they are saying that there has not been any proper and effective engagement with stakeholders. And they are also saying that they want an election subcommittee set up to prepare the grounds for an elective Congress.
So now, wait. So this stakeholder committee, now they direct the interim management committee on what to do, or they suggest what they should do to them. So I'm just, you see, some of these things. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know, because when I also read, is
it in their power to be calling for the things they are calling for? No, I'm just asking. Is it not these stakeholders who are presiding over the rot in Ghana boxing? Is it not these same stakeholders? Now,
Sporty FM.
The system wants to sanitize the space. Give them time to properly deal with the professional boxing ecosystem, so that in future you have a proper body, a proper GBA, or a well-equipped GBA steering the affairs of Ghana boxing, so that we see the best of results, so that all the protocols that need to be followed, all the best practices that have to be followed pre, during and post a boxing match, all of those things are done in terms of welfare of your boxers, in terms of welfare of promoters, in terms of promoters' rights, in terms of contract arrangement, all of those things. Wouldn't you be patient and wait for the system to finish their job and tell it that, look, stakeholders, that is, if the committee recognizes any group known as what? Nathan, what's the name again?
The Committee for Professional Boxing Stakeholders.
So I'm sure the committee recognizes boxers. It recognizes promoters.
Well, yes.
It recognizes the medical teams. You know, I'm sure all of them will call themselves stakeholders, right?
Yes.
Yes, I'm sure when the committee feels the time is right, I want to believe the committee will call on all of these individual stakeholders and share whatever it is they have with them. So why the rush? You see, my worry is the rush. Why are they in a hurry?
Because they say that they haven't heard anything. They haven't heard anything.
But if there's nothing to tell you, why should we come and tell you things? Why should you hear things when there's nothing?
But they're also saying that, that's what I'm saying. So if you read the letter, the very first points they make is that the tenure
were they the people who commissioned that IMC? Did they commission that IMC? Did they set up that IMC?
But okay, so are you saying that the IMC was set up by the minister?
Yes.
And I think the work.
If you have concerns,
yes,
go to the sports ministry and go and meet the minister. But Nathan, until the committee comes out to say, based on the mandate the minister has given us, we have done our work.
Yeah.
This is the manual professional boxing is going to be run by. This is the manual every stakeholder must adhere to. And so, at this point, we are ready to conduct elections for you, the stakeholders, to appoint your leader. Until then, the stakeholders have no case in this matter.
They are saying that they've taken a compromise stance. Okay, let me read the portion of the statement. Relax. It says, it is worth noting that the CPBS, took a compromise stance on the takeover of the GBIMC from the Congress-mandated GBA board due to the assurance of the Minister of Sports and Recreation that your exercise is of short time and most importantly for medical and safety protocols to safeguard the sport. We are therefore very much concerned about the loud silence of the GBIMC on the necessary preparations and roadmap towards an elective Congress. So that's what they are saying.
Nathan, what does short time mean?
I don't know. They are the ones who can explain.
Yes. No, Nathan. When we say short time, short time can be a year, can be a year or two.
Okay.
It's still short.
No problem.
But what I'm saying is that, you see, Nathan, what I want the stakeholders to understand is, they were not begged to step aside. They were not begged to step aside. You see, when they make statements like they reach a compromise, no, there was no compromise anywhere.
Okay, you hold on.
The order came for them to step aside, for the IFC to take over Ghana boxing.
Okay.
What was the compromise? If they were bold enough, they should have stayed in office. They should have called the bluff of the minister of the NSC and stayed in office.
Okay. You know what? Alex Ntiamwa is on the line. Alex Ntiamwa he's one of the signees of this letter. He's president of the Boxing Promoters Association of Ghana. That body and several others come together to form the Committee for Professional Boxing Stakeholders. So let's try and get an understanding as to why they have this concern, and then we'll plot our for it. Alex, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. I forgot to add that you are also CEO of Box Office Boxing Promotions. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
Happy New Year to you.
Very happy. Thanks, brother. Just on the phone. I'm not having access to a TV set, but I learned from one of your panels in the studio asking. We were instructed. The Ghana Boxing Authority Board was instructed to set aside. We should have called the bluff and all that stuff. There was compromise and all that stuff. Maybe you might not have the information or privilege to certain information.
Oh.
You know, the NSC is mandate or the minister. There is two documents that guide sports in Ghana, which is the Act 934, which is sports law 2016. Then we have the LI, the latest one, which was promulgated in 2023 October.
Okay.
The LI 2477. They are the two main documents that govern sports in Ghana. You know, in the Act or the LI, there is no such power with the minister or the Director General of the NSC to have step aside a constitutionally elected board of any sport association. They don't have that authority or power.
This is
What
the voice of sports.
those documents says, it's about they having the NSC having the authority or the power to revoke licenses or to revoke registration.
Okay.
Every sports association in Ghana has to register with the National Sports Authority and also to be licensed by the National Sports Authority, so that it can operate legally.
Yes.
And for the drafters of the LI and the Act, it's a way of checks and balances. Because if you recall, if I can, I should give you historical antecedents of sports issues in Ghana. If you could remember, there was a time that Baba was president of the GOC, and he lost against Professor Dodo. When he lost, he saw that the laws enforced by them, which is the LI 1088, then that was the regulations in Ghana. It gave power to the Minister of Sports to be the only person that can set the sports association and can have the power to appoint heads of sports associations and have the power to fire or disappoint any sports association head. And in that regard, when you compare it with the International Olympic Charter, it's an infringement on the International Olympic Charter of its statutes, which is that there should be no government interference in sports. So when BP Baba lost that elections, because when government changed and the head of sports associations were all fired and new sports heads were put in place. And by then, the government of the day was in favor of Professor Dudu. So it was more or less like, we put you there, this is the candidate we want to be the head of the GOC. You vote for the person. That's what the scenario looks like. So BP Baba wrote to the International Olympic Committee, and they instructed Ghana. They gave us ultimatum that if we are not able to change our laws to be in conformity with the charters of the International Olympic Committee, we are going to withdraw. We are going to bar Ghana from all international Olympic sanctioned sports. Ghana from. So quickly, by then they have to change the airline to from airline 30 to airline 1988, which gives the power to individuals or people who have love for any sports to come together to form sports association. And by then they should go with how do you call it? They should have their own constitution that will govern their sports and should be in conformity with international status or international status. That was when the airline 1988 was promulgated, and then it gives the individuals or the stakeholders the power to set up their own sports association, have their constitution, and choose their own heads. In that regard, it means government from the powers of appointing and disappointing officials or board members from any sports association. Then in 2023, new airline was promulgated, which is the airline 2477. That gives birth to the registration and then giving licenses to the sports association. The traders or the people that drafted those how do you call it, those laws and airlines had in mind that they should win government from sports association total control, but there should be some checks and balances. So the NSC has the power to revoke licenses and revoke registrations. When sports associations are not operating in a way that's supposed to be, operate. So when the issue happened with the minister, setting up a 7-member committee for the boxing, when the boxer from Nigeria came together and died, they saw that there was some irregularities in terms of medical issues and all that stuff. So it was an issue of safety protocols and medical protocols which was not adhered to by the previous administration and that they put in the regime. And it's about safety issues. What we believe as stakeholders should have been done was that the minister should have, or the NSC should have, sat with the
Sporty
the GBA board to tell them that we want to revoke the license because you need to give 14 days notice for the revocation of the license. We want to revoke your license. The issue is about safety, and we cannot because government has the mandate to protect its citizens. So if there is a particular sport that we feel we are not adhering to safety protocols and all that, and we see that our citizens are not safe, we want to withdraw or revoke our license for you to put in place proper medical protocols or proper safety protocols so that the sport or boxing can be safe. That was the only power they had by them to start with the GDA board. So at the end of the day, they have to put in place all these safety protocols and all that stuff, and then they can give the article. They can even they can suspend the license and then maybe give some time and then give the license back. But they don't have the power to announce or to set the board aside and all that stuff. So when this thing happened, we the stakeholders, we came out with a press release, and the minister, Honorable Kofi Adams, called us to the ministry for us to discuss because by then he has prepared to swear in the IMC, and the letter that we the release that we brought out, he called us to start discuss with us. What he told us was that there is an issue of safety issue and life and death for us boxers. There should be a way to do something about it, and it's going to be a very short exercise, which is going to it's not going to last more than 90 days. And even if there should be some extension, it's not going to extend more than 1 month. That was what he told us. And he even went ahead because he also saw some fishy things because we wanted to go to elections to elect our own leaders according to our constitution. And we heard about some rumors about some scheming and all that stuff. And he assured us that nobody, he will not allow anybody to touch the GBA constitution or the GBA delegate list. All he wants was to have the safety protocols and all that stuff in place so that the sport can be safe. At the end of the day, the people should be there to conduct elections for the boxing fraternity. The month they were sworn in on 29th of September, and 3 months by 29th of December, they should have finished everything, and then they gave meeting for 3 times in a week for the 90 days. And then if they need some extension, they should have asked for maybe the 1 month extension. So now, as part, one of the major things that they were mandated to do is also to conduct the election. If we are assuming without admitting that they have the extension, from September 29th to December 29th is 3 months. The extension 1 month should be from December 29th to January 29th, and their mandate should be done. Okay. So today we've not seen any information on the roadmap to the elections, and we are still there. Okay. That is the reason why we stakeholders came together and wrote the letter to the IMC and copied the NSC and the ministry. Okay.
Alex, my co-host Raymond Yamado is here. He says he has a question for you. So the next voice you hear will be that of Raymond. So Raymond, please go ahead.
Mr. Ntiama, good morning.
Good morning.
So you were responding to me earlier with regard to some of the comments I made. Now, knowing very well that your position as per the LI and what the mandate of the NSA is with regards to dealing with federations like yours, why didn't you press on with a legal challenge to test if indeed the sports ministry and the NSA had the right to revoke the license of the GBA? Why didn't you press ahead or press on with a legal action that will be settled in the law courts for you to know exactly where you stand and what the powers of the NSA or the sports ministry is?
Okay, let me explain something to you. You know, before taking any action in any matter, you need to ascertain the advantages and the disadvantages. The NSC came out with a letter that they have suspended all boxing activities in Ghana. When this letter came and also setting aside the GBA constitutionally mandated board, all you need to do first and foremost, if it's done by the NSC, you need to petition the minister. And in this issue, the minister is the one that, was to set up the IMC, because the minister was the one who set up the Senate member committee, and as part of that recommendation, the IMC should be inaugurated to work. So it's like you are in a house, you have your brother who is bullying you, and you have to go to your father to report to him so that you can reprimand your brother. But at the end of the day, it's your father who is behind what your brother is doing. It's truly a very little difficult. So you have to go to maybe your head of family, that is the court. If the boxing activities have been suspended, we have some of the boxers who will be traveling. Some boxers have gotten fights outside and all that stuff. If we didn't manage that issue well, it's going to drag for some time and it's going to affect some livelihoods. And so we need to, weigh the options. But yes, we can go to court and then we can push for the court to go through the issues, and then the issue should be determined. But before that time, it's going to affect a lot of livelihoods. And most of the boxers are coming from backgrounds that are not, economically sound. And we need to find a way so that we can keep these boxers in business. At the end of the day, if we are not doing that, some of the boxers that you are seeing on TV and all that stuff, some are doing some social activities like, a lot of things that is not pleasant to really mention on
Mr. Ntiama, this petition that you signed, in what capacity did you sign that petition?
I serve as the head of Promoters Association, the president of the Promoters Association.
But the last time I checked, the Ghana Boxing Interim Management Committee have given you a 6-month suspension from boxing-related activities.
Okay.
So,
And you want me to go in?
so I'm a bit confused as to, how you signed a petition to this same body that has suspended you. I'm a bit confused as to why you took that decision to put your signature on that petition. Maybe you have a bit of an explanation to that.
Okay, we have a constitution of the what they call it, the Promoters Association. And in that constitution, boxing promotion outfits, people even who have license are allowed to be part of the association. So each and every Promoters Association has 3 representatives. 3 representatives, one can be licensed, 2 can be non-licensed people to still work. And my company is part of the association. So apart from me having a promoter's license of box office, which is a company, my colleague Solomon Tulati also have license to as part of box office. So as a company, if I'm not there, other person can still run the company with his license. So me, my position is not affected, even if my license is suspended, because we have unlicensed people who can be part of the association and hold positions. On the IMC board, we have Apiweyaju on the IMC board. He is part of the Promoters Association. He's not a licensee of the Ghana Boxing Authority, but he represents Cabinet Promotions on our side, and he owns position as organizer as part of the Promoters Association. So that is not affecting my position at all.
Right.
Okay. Alex, I'm curious. So, if I've gone through the statement, so basically, you want the IMC to put out the roadmap and modalities for an elective Congress. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a timeline in mind, or when do you think will be the best time for the election to be held, so that, or when do you think the IMC has to get all of these things properly sorted so the election can take place?
Okay, what they are saying is we gave 7 days ultimatum for them to give us the timeline, because we have to set the time. At least when the VDF, there has been some precedent of when we were switching from the appointment of heads of sports association to the democratic dispensation of the Ghana Boxing Authority. There was IMC, which was put in place, Tribunal Committee, which was put in place. And they were given less than one, their job was less than 1 month. And they were able to deliver elective Congress solid. When that was the first time we had a democratically elected DBA board to administer as a board in Ghana for boxing. So they should be able to do it within a month. They should be able to do it.
Okay. Currently, I just want to understand something. In this current environment, are you able to, or are boxing activities going on? I ask because you did say that you wanted boxers to be well off. You wanted the well-being of boxers because some of them were not coming from good backgrounds.
Yes, when we didn't push for legal or any other things that we were able to speak with the minister and can compromise for the exercise to go on. Within some short time, the suspension was lifted and boxing came back. We saw Sharaf Mama had his promotions on 30th of December, of which my boxer, Jonathan Techiman, a worldwide that I managed, had the opportunity to fight. And after that, there have been other fights that are taking place. So the IMC also has the mandate to sanction fights and act as the GBA board may act. The only issue that I have is that per the GBA rules and regulations, the Tribunal is the one that runs the day-to-day affairs of the place. And the reason why their work is taking time for them to finish is because they are also working as administration that runs the day-to-day affairs, of which the Secretary General can run the day-to-day affairs while they do other things so that they can catch up with the time as quickly as possible.
Finally, what actions do you plan to take, assuming that the IMC does not meet your 1 week ultimatum? Let's say in a week the IMC is not able to put together a roadmap. What will be the possible actions you take to ensure that you are satisfied?
Yeah, we have had meetings as stakeholders and we discussed what are the necessary actions to be taken. And you know, the GBA has a constitution, and it has to run by the constitution and not the way it's supposed to, not the way it's going right now. But because there was an issue, we have, compromised, and we believe it should go that way so that within that short exercise, constitutionally mandated board can take over to work. If not, we as stakeholders who call for extraordinary congress to go out there to set up a 5-member committee to be an elected election committee so that they can manage the elective congress for us to select our leaders. That's the arrangement that we have.
I see,
and,
but will you have the legal power to do that by yourself, like setting up an extraordinary committee? Do you believe that you have the legal power and the legal authority to do so?
The highest decision-making body of the Ghana Boxing Authority, as it stands now, is Congress.
It's Congress, okay.
And it's only Congress that can, set up that 5-member committee. So we've given the minister the opportunity, the NSC the opportunity, and 29th of January, the timeline and everything that they give, the timeline that is given and everything has elapsed. So why should we wait? We don't have to wait. We have Congress that can. Make decisions. So we use Congress to make decisions and move ahead. Let me remind you, there is a judgment which has secured against the then put in the administration. And the
judgment secured against who? Hold on. Judgment secured against who?
Against the then GBA administration and the Kote administration.
Okay.
It's about influencing the constitution or the rules of the Ghana Boxing Authority. And by then he was saying there was no constitution and all that stuff. So it's established by the court that there is a working constitution of the Ghana Boxing Authority. And it was stated clearly that anything that is being done which is not in conformity with the constitution, it's an infringement on the constitution and it's null and void. So there is a high court judgment which back everything that we have our constitution, and then we can stand on it, and then we have our extraordinary congress so that we can set up the 5-member committee to go ahead with the elective congress routes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. My colleague has a question for you.
Mr. Ntiama.
Yeah.
I want to ask this. Is it lost on the stakeholders that at this point the GBA constitution, as you knew it, has been overthrown, and now it is only when the GBIMC is done with their work, done with the fine-tuning of the constitution that was overthrown and brought back to Congress, it is only then that a new constitution can be enforced?
As of now, so by rules of how do you call it, sports in Ghana, each and every sports association should have a constitution. So under which power is boxing being Ghana boxing is working, professional boxing is working? You want to tell me is the powers of the ministry, or now is the ministry that controlling boxing in Ghana? No, there was an like we said, there was a meeting, and we, the stakeholders, accepted it. And even the GDA, the GDA IMC, they wrote to us as stakeholders for us to discuss and see how we can work. And they are there to answer to the stakeholders, though they were put into place for safety issues. So we have explained to you the reason why we compromise on that, so that at the end of the day, and it's part of their mandate that they should have elected Congress. And they were told by the minister that they shouldn't touch the GDA constitution. If they have any suggestion, they should bring to Congress, so that Congress can decide on it, whether to accept it or not. So they've not thrown out our constitution. Our constitution is important.
Okay.
It's working.
Okay. Alex, thank you. Thank you so much. We'll keep an eye on this, and we'll see how this story evolves. But thank you so much for your time, and we wish you the very best.
We are ready to work with government. You know, we want to maintain a good relationship with the NLC and the ministry. All we are saying is everything that is going to be done, every research that they are ready to support boxing with, it must be in confines of the law or the constitution of the Ghana Boxing Authority. And we are there to work with them harmoniously and amicably, so that Ghana boxing shall, go to places.
All right, Alex, thank you so much for your time, and we wish you the very best.
You are welcome.
All right. 8:18. That was Alex Ntiamwa, CEO of Box Office Promotions and president of the Boxing Promoters Association of Ghana, and he's part of the committee of the professional boxing stakeholders. They put out a letter, or they sent a letter or a petition to the interim
This is
management committee of Ghana Boxing. They want modalities laid out for an elective Congress. We don't know what the IMC will say, so as we say, watch this space. We'll see if we can get a response, or we'll wait for a response from the IMC. Right, so
Nathan, I mean, it's a very difficult. It was a very difficult conversation. I mean, I was trying to really understand the locus of this stakeholder committee with regards to some of the demands they were making.
Okay.
I mean, the capacity in which they are making some of the demands and what they are really looking for. Look, Nathan,
they said they want modalities for an elective Congress.
If it's about elections,
yes.
Okay. It is not as if the GBA is not being run at the moment. Okay. If it's about leadership for professional boxing,
yes,
it is not as if there's none. We've seen a promotion here in Ghana, and recently there was one in Kita. Oh no, there was one in Kita. This Xmas.
Oh, the one that got people in trouble?
No.
Or
there
that
was another one. There was another.
This one was a legitimate one.
Legitimate. There was another one here.
Okay.
So if it's about the boxers getting the opportunity to fight, it is happening. If it's about promoters getting the opportunity to organize boxing bouts, it is happening. Okay. All of that is still ongoing. That is if you would stick to the protocols that have been laid out by the GBIMC.
Yeah.
So it is not as if boxing has come to a halt because of the IMC and their engagements.
Yeah.
Boxing is still ongoing.
Yes.
And so, the talk of election, as and when the GBIMC realized that, look, the task that we have been given, we have completed it.
Yeah.
We've looked at the constitution. We think that ABCD has to be amended. We go to Congress. Whatever provisions in the constitution have to be amended, it's agreed on at Congress. And that document now becomes the document that guides the GBA moving forward. Elections will be held. That is if the GBA believe that all the people who, based on the criteria set out for who should become a GBA president, or who should become an executive of the GBA, when all those criteria or criteria, is that it? Is that it? Criteria. Oh, okay. Right. If you meet it,
yes,
you get to contest in the election.
Yeah.
It is the same Congress that will vote for these people. But until then, we would have to wait for the GBIMC to come out with all those modalities, when they are ready. Nathan, it's not a matter of the minister has given timelines of 3 months and an extension of 1 month, so immediately that 4 months is up. You say, come and organize an election. Nathan, if they are not done, and
they're also saying that the IMC is too quiet. They want to hear from the IMC.
But they know how to contact the IMC.
So that's what they've done.
No, but they themselves, they know how to get through to the IMC to know exactly what is happening.
But that's what they've done.
No, you see, the letter, this message comes across like, we are in a hurry. You are wasting our time. We want to take charge of our boxing.
Yes.
So hurry up and give it back to us. That is the tone of this letter. Hurry up and organize an election and let us steer the affairs of Ghana boxing. That's what it looks like. And we are saying that, no, it is not time for that yet.
This is Sporty.
Some of us believe that, look, if Ghana boxing has to be done and done right and done well, the committee must take their time. Cross all the T's and dot all the I's. So that the next time someone is organizing a boxing promotion and fails to adhere to all the laid down protocols, there are serious sanctions. So they cannot rush things. So I'm even sure that if they are not able to finish whatever they have to do within the stipulated time, if they go back to the minister with an explanation, I'm sure the minister will further extend their mandate. Will extend their mandate further.
Okay.
Because, you see, Nathan, yesterday I told you, these other federations, apart from Ghana football, that doesn't show us a clear structure. These are the opportunities to make sure there are proper structures and there's proper management of some of these federations. This is a rare opportunity that has presented itself. If we miss this opportunity, we may never see the best of professional boxing in this country. And that is why I feel that those in charge must not rush it. Make sure you fine-tune all the things. Look, even football. You remember when the normalization committee came?
I remember.
After doing all what they had to do,
Yes.
football people went to that Congress, agreed on what they wanted to agree on. Only for years later, same football people come and tell us, oh, they agreed because they just wanted power to be handed over to. No, you remember?
Yeah, I remember.
And now that they have the power, they now have to change. They have to undo some of the things the normalization committee. You remember?
Yeah.
When they set a 2-term limit, they said, "Oh, we only agreed because we only wanted power." Nathan, knowing all this from the past,
Yes.
you cannot have this opportunity and make the same mistakes. And so they should allow the GBIMC to work. They should stakeholder, they should allow them to work. If it would take them 6 months, 1 year to properly fine-tune the structures, fine-tune that document that guides Ghana boxing, we are all for it.
But don't you think that if, for example, if the IMC needs time, don't you think it's only fair that the stakeholders in the space need to know?
You see, Nathan, even some of the stakeholders questioning the GBIMC today have no locus to be questioning the GBIMC.
Why?
They've been suspended. Somebody has been suspended, but he's bold enough to sign a letter as head of promoters.
He says that he's
No, you see, Nathan.
he's been licensed.
Nathan.
I didn't explain that.
Nathan, if you have been suspended, it means that license you hold as a promoter has been suspended. True or false?
Well, if you've been suspended, you can't do anything.
Very good.
Including signing.
Yes. But you feel that you have the capacity, you have the locus to write a letter, sign to the GBIMC that has suspended you in the capacity of GBIMC head of promoters. I mean, you see, some of these things, I feel that the boxing stakeholders don't understand a lot of the things that are happening.
Why do you say so?
They feel that boxing was snatched out of their hands. Okay, they feel that management of Ghana boxing was pulled out of their hands. It was their bona fide property and somebody came to snatch it from them. So if the person is wasting time, or if the person is not dancing to their tune, or not playing with them, they want to do everything possible to take it back from them. No, it doesn't work like that. They must understand that it is organized. It's an organized federation. It's an organized association that is supposed to manage boxing professional boxers in this country. It is true that the promoters own the professional boxers, but for as long as those competitions involve Ghanaians and their safety and welfare concerns the state, whatever the state must do to make sure every single individual is protected within that space is done. Okay. It won't be business as usual anymore. It won't be business as usual when a bout is being organized. The promotion doesn't have a particular group of boxers on it. One way or the other, they sneak in some boxers. Nobody knows where they came from. Boxers don't do weigh-in. Boxers don't get any full medical check. They go and fight. No, those things won't happen again. We know the Olar and Waju bout. We had all the things that happened.
Yeah.
The bout, the fight night, he died. He was not on the bill for that boxing promotion.
Sporty FM.
All of those things have happened in this town. And people feel that it's okay, it's just safety matters. People have gone to fight without signed contracts.
Okay.
In this same boxing, in this same boxing federation, this boxing association, people have gone to fight without signed contracts. They've agreed and gone to fight. People have received contracts 5 days to fight. 5 days to fight. They've traveled 2 days within that time. How much training? We've allowed all those things to happen. Nathan, look. If the GBIMC wish to use 2 years to sanitize the space, so be it.
$8.28. Ray, what is it? You have to talk about.
We've been in this town. Mm-hmm. We've organized all sorts of Atiagbeshi boxing bouts in this town. Atiagbeshi bouts, a lot of them in this space. And we want to bring sanity to the space, and people are up in arms. People are fighting the system. Listen, if it must be done well. The GBIMC, they have the full support of Ghanaians to sanitize that space. When we went to watch Freezy McBones and go this December.
Yes.
What did you have to say about that promotion? What did you have to say about that organization?
Yeah, I thought it was good. They really looked classy.
Thank you very much. That is what people don't want to see. That is what people don't want to see. A boxer goes into the ring to fight without a corner, without a catsman, without a corner man. All of those things have happened in this space. Ethan, they shouldn't let us resurrect conversations this morning.
Easy. But anyway, we'll watch this space. We'll see what happens next. But time check is 8:29. You can send in your messages 054 257 1061. 054 257 1061. Let's talk about the AFCON. I always say that the 2025 AFCON conversation doesn't end, after no. This particular AFCON has a lot of things to talk about. The Cote d'Ivoire AFCON was a very nice, so after that it ended. We didn't have a lot of these things. But despite Ghana not being there were different Ghanaians playing different roles. Ray, so we had Ghanaians on commentary duty. Our brothers, Citro and George Ado.
That's right.
They did brilliant work. We had Emmanuel Ajimanbedu on match summary duty sometimes. Why have you done that? And then we had some Ghanaians as well, playing some very high-profile roles.
Yeah.
One of such persons is Frederick Achampong.
Yeah, Ferachi, yeah.
Achi.
He was one of the.
Okay.
Was one of the match coordinators. Right? Yeah.
Okay.
I think there was Sani Dara as well.
Yeah, Sani was heavy
I
on
saw
the.
his name on one of the screens.
Okay.
In one of the games. Yeah, he had his name on the screen.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And then we had a couple of others. I think Nick was also doing some security stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
No, I spoke to him.
But Nick is he's always been in those positions.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
it's true,
he's
true.
always
Nick,
been in
yes,
those
Nick,
positions.
Nick's always been doing
Yeah, he's always been in charge of security. That's why you remember he told us about his experience
very good when we're talking
in
about
Abidjan, in Cote d'Ivoire.
I think it was when we had the pole.
Yeah, the polo incident. Yeah.
Yes. Achi is joining us. Let's try and get an understanding of what it is he was doing there. We'll get his own perspective.
The first time I saw Achi doing some of these things was when I think there was a Wafu tournament.
There was a Wafu tournament many years ago.
Fox Sports came in. Achi was
2017.
Achi was in the thick of things that time. I think I was coaching Techiman.
Anyway,
he's been in the job.
He's joined us on the line. Let's welcome him officially. Frederick Achampong, thank you so much for joining us. Good morning, Happy New Year, and welcome back from Morocco.
Happy New Year. Thank you. Good morning to everyone.
Great. Congrats on a good job done in Morocco. Can you just run us through officially what your duties were during the AFCON 2025?
As you're aware, I've been supporting CAF events as a general coordinator. And so during tournament like this, the biggest on the continent, the biggest for CAF in terms of the scheme of things, in terms of the tournament they organize. And so I went there as one of the assistant general coordinators, and our venue was at the Casablanca Stadium, the Mohamed V Stadium at Casablanca. That's where I operated from. So if you realize, I came home before the end of the competition because in competition, they organized this competition with 9 venues, 9 stadiums. And so when it is that your job is done in your venue, you have like 2 days, then you come back home to continue with your normal activity. So I was based at Casablanca at the Mohamed V Stadium, organizing games. So our games basically involved matches in Group A and Group E. Group A is the group that finds Morocco. But how they organized this tournament was a bit different from the previous ones that we organized. In the previous competitions, a group would be, like a stadium would be dedicated to a particular group. So one group would be stationed in a particular venue. You understand? But this one is like a camp base. And so teams will travel around to play games in multiple stadia. But Morocco, as it is, because of their following and everything, they played all their matches at the Prince Moulay Stadium. So that's where they were based. But all the games in Group A, apart from the matches involving Morocco, were played at Casablanca. And so if you realize, like Morocco versus Mali was played there, at the Prince Moulay Stadium, Morocco versus Comoros was the opening game was played there. But beyond that, the other games, Mali, Zambia, Mali, Comoros, Zambia, all those games were played at the Mohamed V Stadium. That's where I operated from.
Okay, so basically, when you are a match coordinator, what are the specifics of your job on match day? What exactly do you do to ensure that a football game happens without incident?
Sporty.
Okay, I just don't want to say the general coordinator is the boss of the venue. I don't want to say that. But basically, the general coordinator's job is for the successful organization of the matches. And any other person's job, any other person work towards the success of the match. And so basically, all other departments work towards the job of the general coordinator. I.e. the medical department, doping control, media, protocol, hospitality, security, access management, access control, ticketing, a lot, transport, everything, logistics, services, all of them work towards the success of the company. The main job of the general coordinator is also to ensure the success of the match. So everybody works towards the job of the general coordinator for the venue. So on a match day, it's a bit a difficult task because the general coordinator, you're supposed to be at the stadium minimum -5. When I say -5, it means that 5 hours to kick off. So for instance, the game is scheduled for like 3 p.m. It means that as a general coordinator, you must be at the stadium latest by 10 o'clock. By 10 a.m., you should be at the stadium trying to organize things. And trust me, for all the 5 hours, there's no rest for 1 or 2 minutes. Everything is, I mean, you got something to do, one thing or the other to do at every minute, at every second. So you work throughout. And obviously, after the end of the game, you have like between 45 minutes to 1 hour to leave the stadium because you are probably the last person to leave the stadium because you have to see to the departure of the teams. You work in conjunction with the security, safety and security officers to see to the departure of the team. So, like I said, if you arrive like 5 hours before the game, the first thing you have to do is to check the pitch. The pitch is the main thing. I mean, it is the main thing. Beyond everything, all other things behind the scenes. Most of the things are behind the scenes. But what we are selling to the general public is what's happening on the pitch. So your job is to, monitor the pitch and see if the pitch is in the right condition. So you meet with the pitch maintenance team, the grounds manager, to schedule even the watering of the pitch and see, you look at the weather of the day, if it's going to rain or it's not going to rain. If it rains, you schedule a particular watering schedule. If it's not going to rain, a particular watering schedule. For instance, if it's not going to rain, means that they would water the pitch maybe 5 hours to kick off. They water the pitch maybe 3 hours to kick off. And then 1 hour, or 60 minutes, that is when like everything is set in. Because access control and everything is activated 2 hours to kick off. So it's like 3 p.m. to the kickoff is 3 p.m. It means that 2 p.m. you would water the pitch. That is the competition time. Now you are within the competition. All that is they did was outside the competition time. So you water the pitch like 60 minutes. And then when they come to warm up, they warm up like -50. When I say -50, if it's 3 p.m. kickoff, means at 10 past 2, the teams will come to warm up. And they warm up for 30 minutes. So at 2:40, they will exit the pitch or they go back to the changing room to change to come on. Once they exit the pitch, after the warm-up, you water the pitch again. You understand? So these things, the first meeting you hold with the pitch management team, and the two of you agree on the watering schedule for the day, depending on the weather of the day. Beyond that, you got the ball boys, the flag bearers to rehearse with for the day's activity. You got the security people to, meet with to plan the security deployment of the day. You meet with the other department, LOC competitions, because they are basically in charge of the changing rooms and everything. We inspect the changing room, make sure that everything is in place, the toiletries and the tissues and everything is there, and the technical aspect, technical provisions, there's massage table, there's island, when I say island, like the inserter table for discussion, there's the tactical board and all those things. It's your responsibility to make sure they are there. You check when the pitches are maintained, you check with the goalposts as well, and make sure that everything is in place. So basically, the complete success organization of the match lies with the general coordinator working in hand with all the other departments. Like I told you earlier on, all the other departments work towards the success of success organization of the match. But the general coordinator's job is to ensure that the game is organized successfully. So all the other departments they work towards the general coordinator.
I see. You've worked across several competitions, either WAFU, CAF, and all of that. When you compare Morocco to some of the other competitions, or what made this AFCON different, or was it a different AFCON as compared to any previous AFCON experience you've had? Were there any differences? You mentioned one difference in terms of teams moving about to play at several venues, but apart from that, was there any other unique thing about the AFCON in Morocco that you'd like to share?
Well, beyond the camp-based system, which was deployed for this particular competition, and that's what's going to happen at the World Cup in US, Mexico, and Canada as well. They will use the camp-based system like Morocco did. Now, beyond that, I think that the facilities were top-notch. I have to be honest with you. The top facilities and the logistics for organizing this competition was top. It's something you will find in World Cup. For instance, the pitch at the moment, the Fit Stadium, is basically what I saw in Qatar during the World Cup. So in terms of the facilities, the logistics, the technical aspect of organizing this competition, I think it's about the best so far.
Okay, quite interesting. Finally, I mean, Ghana wasn't there as a participating country, but you were there to do some work to represent us. How did it feel not seeing the Black Stars in the AFCON, seeing all these teams there, and then the Black Stars not being around? How did it feel for you, even though you were doing your work, but how did it feel as a Ghanaian not to have experienced the Black Stars in Morocco?
It wasn't the best of feeling, I have to be honest with you, because first day of my arrival in Rabat, in discussions with my colleagues from different parts of the world, when we had arrived to undergo the workshop for the tournament, they asked me, which venue are you? I'll tell them, I'm in Casablanca, but where is Ghana based? You understand? So some of them, I don't want to say they were not aware. Maybe probably they had forgotten that Ghana did not qualify. And so, because ordinarily, you expect Ghana to be there. I mean, it's a bet right for Ghana to present AFCON. So, and they will be surprised that I tell them that Ghana did not qualify. Why? AFCON without. And this one, I kept, being confronted with this throughout the competition, especially at the moment of the stadium. Some of the people I work with, they would ask you, where do you come from? Because I speak English, they speak French. Well, I understand a bit of French, but basically my medium of communication is English. So they don't want to find out where you're from. I tell them Ghana. Oh, Ghana, you don't qualify there. And then they are surprised that Ghana didn't make it. But Ghana had a lot of representation in terms of the organization of the competition.
Okay, wow, interesting. Congrats, actually, once again on putting together a good job. Before I let you go, what's the biggest takeaway for you from this AFCON, from a professional perspective? What was the biggest lesson you learned? Or what was the biggest thing you take away from this competition, working as a general coordinator?
Well, for me, it was business as usual. It was smooth organization, but I think that this particular AFCON were not surprises, I should put it that way, because the teams, the usual suspect, those all of us are aware that they are good. They progressed. As the tournament progressed, you could see that the teams that are better kept on progressing the competitions, while others got eliminated. So it's one particular tournament that I didn't see so much surprises, because everybody knew Senegal was good, and so Senegal will go all the way. Nigeria was good, they'll go all the way. Mali was good, they'll qualify from the you could see Egypt must qualify. So, there was not much of surprises that would upset somebody, especially in the knockout competition. Yes, the group stages, fine. And the tournament of 24 countries, obviously, there's a round of 16. So you find Sudan and other countries qualifying for the next stage of the competition. But they couldn't go beyond that because, as the tournament progressed, you could see that the big boys were, standing out. You could see them, they're emerging. And so it wasn't surprising that I saw Morocco and Senegal in the final.
Okay. Fred, thank you so much. Welcome back once again, and all the best.
Thank you, bro.
All right. That was Frederick Achampo. He's an EXCO member of the GFA, but he was working for CAF as a match coordinator during the just ended 2025 AFCON in Morocco. Very interesting comments. He spoke about the pitch. He said the pitch was world class. He said the pitch was just like what the world experienced in Qatar. So what, 4 years away from the World Cup, Morocco already have world class pitches in place.
And they'll be looking to improve even before the next World and the World Cup after this one. So no, it was a world class tournament. And I dare say that when Morocco have left the bar, it will be very difficult for any other country to match it. Because you look at this as their subtle preparation towards hosting World Cup in 2032.
Yes, that is true.
And they've done it so well. And you could see that they've built on their experience from hosting other competitions, youth tournaments, women's AFCONs, and all. So they've learnt a lot from all those competitions they've held. And you could say same for South Africa when every competition on the continent was being hosted by South Africa.
Yes.
It was just like that. And we all saw the kind of World Cup they hosted on their own, you know. So the Morocco they put in the work. Most importantly, had the money to spend, and
This is Sporty FM.
they should be happy about what they've achieved. Apart from not winning the championship, I think they've achieved a lot. The whole world now sees Morocco differently. Everybody now sees Morocco as a friendly country, that country that you can go to on the Africa continent. You get good infrastructure, good roads, good train system, good accommodation,
Okay.
nice hotels to live in. And you yourself, you've been there, you've seen the experience. And
Yeah.
so it just puts Morocco up there as one of the destinations you want to visit if you're planning a travel, and it's good for them. They chucked a lot of positives after hosting this one, and I see teams preparing for the World Cup, possibly even considering Morocco as one of the places to go and play a game. That is if Morocco have friendly games and all the time of these countries. I'm sure Morocco now puts itself as a destination to host world-class international friendlies and all. So it's good for them. And I wouldn't say I wish same for Ghana, because our situation is very different, you know. With our financial challenges and all, I wouldn't say I wish Ghana had, you know, quite a bit of everything the Moroccans have.
Why?
You know, but we are not a very rich nation, if I may put it that way. We have a lot of financial troubles, financial issues, and you cannot say you want to put up a Moulay Abdallah kind of facility or Mohammed the Fifth kind of stadium. You won't call for that. And even if we make calls for that, post whatever event we are going to host, what happens to maintenance? You know, you see, we have a lot of issues, and at the base of it all is finance, cash, sika, money. Maybe we would get there. Maybe we'll get there in future, but Morocco have really lifted the bar. We hosted a tournament once in Ghana. We did okay. You know, what you normally get from Ghana is the vibe. But in terms of infrastructure, I'm not sure we came anywhere close to what the Moroccans.
Oh no! I mean, in 2008,
even,
this was the facilities were good.
Well, okay. We still had this pitch, you know.
Yeah, but 2008 it was
with the issues of the ball bouncing, you know, awkward bounces and all. I mean, and just like you said, the kind of playing surface players have had in the last two editions of AFCON.
Yes.
Has clearly improved the style of play. Players don't come into games with their legs wrapped in cotton wool because they are not sure of what the surface gives them. They are not sure what inches they would pick on those playing surfaces. So we've improved. The standard of the competition has improved, and we hope that when after the last AFCON, when the Nations League kicks off, I'm sure we're going to get a lot more facilities improved in countries that will be hosting some of these competitions, because Nathan, generally we should see development across Africa. Pitches, just like Muchepe said, that era where Benin would have to go and play in their neighboring country because they don't have approved pitches. Sudan would have to go and play elsewhere. Mauritania Chad would have to go and play elsewhere. All of those things would have to come to an end at a point.
But who has to ensure that those things happen?
And CAF would have to make sure some of the hosting rights go to countries that are willing to invest. Because, look, there's no motivation better than a country knowing that, well, we have the rights to host a tournament. It puts them in a position to prepare. How do you prepare? Sort out your infrastructure.
Okay,
so today, when I go to Tema and I'm moving back to Medina, I don't use the motorway anymore.
Okay.
Thanks to the Techiman Sports Complex. Okay. There's a decent route that takes me off the motorway, right to Asaliboche, and then you continue to wherever you want to go to. Nathan, but for that Techiman Sports Complex, it was a forest. It was going to remain a forest. It was going to remain a typical bush. Okay, so all of these things help. And why did we put up that Techiman edifice? Because we were going to host the African Games.
Yes.
So until countries get those rights, I'm not sure any government will just wake up and say, okay, we are going to build a stadium here. Until we got the hosting rights for the AFCON, we didn't think of putting up a stadium in Esipon.
Yeah.
Or possibly taking one up north. But thanks to competitions, so I think that CAF should spread the hosting rights wide and well, so that it helps other countries also do it, also develop. I think it's CAF that would trigger some of these things for some of these
But the countries will have to be financially strong,
of course, but,
to show that the burden of building new grounds.
I mean, the three countries that will be hosting the next World Cup: Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya.
The next AFCON.
The next AFCON. Tanzania, Kenya.
Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda.
Yes, they have okay facilities. Okay, but thanks to the World Cup, Uganda will see some more facilities added, quality improved. Kenya same,
Sporty
Tanzania same. It helps all of them. Next time it moves to another 3. It moves to a 1.
Okay.
They upgrade their facilities, and then the development across board sees a lot of improvement. That is what the Europeans have been able to do to help them get a lot of powerful teams on their continent. Because across Europe, Nathan, even Moldova would show you quality pitches. Moldova will show you quality pitches. I don't remember the last time we saw Moldova at the Euros. Okay, but they are getting there. So I mean, there's always room for improvement. And I think that CAF, if CAF decide to stay in Morocco too long, because Morocco have the facilities, just always go to Morocco. Others would miss out. Others would lose out.
So you believe that other countries should also get the opportunity? Well,
that is why some of us are excited about the African Nations League. Whether you people think it's a copy from Europe, some of us are excited about it because the hosting of the final stages of the competition will be spread across board. So it moves to a country where they have or do not have facilities. I mean, putting up 2 stadiums, 2 match venues, upgrading your hotels, fixing roads and all, it helps the countries develop.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Beyond the football itself, there's a development bit to it that you cannot run away from. All of a sudden, Techiman is hot cake. If I sell land to you at Techiman, it's not going for cheap.
Yeah.
It's all part of development. So, I mean, some of us are out for it. African Nations League, let's see a lot more competition. Let's see. And then 4 years we do the AFCON. And you see, that 4 years.
Do we have what it takes to even host?
And the other thing we've not talked about this 4 years is that, look, if Ghana is supposed to host the 2032 AFCON.
Yes.
Yeah? If Ghana get the right somewhere in 2030, 2030, 2031. Oh, no, sorry. 2027, 2028.
Yeah. The voice
Look,
of sports.
there's 4 years to fix your facilities. Okay, there's 4 years to give Africa top-notch facilities. Right? That's a long time. And most of these rights are given way in advance. So there's extra 4 years sitting down, plus the extra 2 you may possibly be having. It gives you a long time to spread your money across. 2 years. And when it's almost time for the tournament, there's still infrastructure deficits. Just like Cameroon. Cameroon struggled. They really struggled to put up that AFCON they hosted.
Yes.
Because they were not ready. At most times, they were not ready. But when you give them a lot of time, yes. I mean, that's what I'm saying that, look, the 4 years comes with a lot of advantages. But because we want to see AFCON played every 2 years,
Sporty
no, you see,
it's because that is our unique story.
Nathan. The World Cup has a unique story. It's played every 4 years.
But the World Cup is the one.
No, Nathan, I'm saying the World Cup has a unique story. The Euros played every 4 years. It's a unique story. It's a unique event. After this AFCON, there's another one in 2027. Then there's another in 2028. I mean, we have seen too many AFCONs. So just give it. So in 4 years' time, when the Semenyos and Co get to the peak of their careers, okay, you get the likes of the young ones coming to the Atakons and Co. When they get there, and Ghana would have to put together a team for 2032 AFCON. Oh, Nathan, come on. You see the excitement around the competition, having waited for so long. Oh, come on. You see, apart from the financial boost, even the excitement around the competition changes. I agree with Mochepe. We don't have any unique situation. How much are unique situation giving us? You play an AFCON, you win $10 million. True or false?
Now
you play at the World Cup. You play at the World Cup at the group stage. You are taking home $10.5 million.
Okay. Whether
you win a game or not, whether you are going home with that money. It's high time. We place a lot of value on our competition. And how do you place value on it? You give it. You give it that missability. Like people miss the AFCON. And then when CAF say we are going to host the AFCON in this country, just look at the excitement. Just look at the number of people who would want to come on board.
So which means what? There's one AFCON next year and one in 2028, right? I think.
Yes. So there's one in 2027.
One in 2028.
Then the 2028 ends the constant AFCONs we see. And then now we wait for the AFCON World Cup in quotes. 4 years, 4 years.
And then there's the African Nations League, which will be played every year from 2029.
Yes.
I see.
So every year we are watching those ones. So it's a build-up.
Nations League.
To the AFCON.
Nations League.
Yes.
Nations League. Yes. Up to 2032.
The countries are involved in improving their infrastructure. Whoever is hosting the main competition, improving infrastructure across board. Look, Nathan, this is the best we can do for ourselves. So. This is the best we can do for ourselves as a continent. Look, there's absolutely nothing wrong with copying what those who have developed have done. If we had copied, I'm not sure today when we wake up in the morning, we'll be standing at Atomic looking for car to come to Sporty FM. No, if we had copied well,
yes,
I'm sure we would have mitigated some of these transport challenges we are facing as a nation.
Yes.
Because we would have copied somebody's train system.
Yes.
And implemented it here. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with copying best practices. So if CAF and Mochepe decide to copy best practices from Europe, so be it. What is this? Africa, we have a culture. Look, stop it. What has it given us?
This is Sporty FM.
What has it ended us? AFCONs every 2 years. You know how much it costs nations to go and play AFCON every 2 years? If the sports ministry has to pay for AFCON, the Black Stars have to go every 2 years, 3.5, 4.5 million. Every 2. Nathan, please. Let's be serious.
Anyway, so you are in favor of the 4-year AFCON.
Strongly in favor.
So the very first one is what? The very first one is I keep getting confused.
That's 2027.
The next one is 2027, which is the East African one.
The one that will go. So that side of town to sweet too.
And then
that side will get vibe.
And then the AFCON after that is in 2028.
Yeah. So I hear Morocco, Algeria, Egypt, all of them are trying to
host,
get the rights to host
2028.
Yeah.
And then after that is when
we play the Nations League.
The Nations League.
So one country will host the main competition after the 4 zones have played. You get it. The continent will be divided into 4 zones. I think.
Yes.
They will play. So West Africa zone. So you see Ghana playing that. Oh, Charlie, what a tournament!
and then when we are done, we go and play. So September, October, November. Of course, these days
the grand finale.
The international window too has been expanded, so it's no more 1 week; it's 2 weeks.
So it makes sense. It makes absolute sense, Nathan. It makes absolute sense. And you see, I like the thinking of those men in there running the affairs of CAF. Nathan, there's absolutely nothing wrong with copying what everybody's doing.
Okay.
Even South America.
Yes.
That model they use for the World Cup qualifiers. I won't be surprised if they change it anytime soon.
To what? Because you see, their place is really odd. They have, how many countries do they have? Is it 10?
Yeah, so 10 in that.
There's a round robin.
Everybody all play all.
Yeah.
But see, Nathan, I'm sure over time to find a way to make it more exciting.
Like how? What can you do with 10 teams?
Nathan, you wait.
Because South America's numbers are constant. Unless, of course, you are saying that they should increase.
They'll do something. You just wait. FIFA will come up with something for that qualifiers. Because it's looking a bit, somewhere it's boring.
I don't think it's boring. I think it's very straightforward.
No.
Talking about the AFCON 2028, Ethiopia has confirmed their bid to host.
So you see
the AFCON, but they don't have any CAF approved stadium. But their sports minister says that they want to build 6.
Thank you. So give it to Ethiopia
host
and see
the
what
AFCON they say in 2029 or 2031. But of course, no AFCON is going to be played in 2029 or 2031. So which means that they will have to target maybe 2032.
So just like you said, Senegal have no.
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia have no CAF approved.
Yes.
So if CAF gives them the rights, what does it do to them?
They will have to now find.
And what does it do to sports development in Ethiopia?
Yeah.
So Ethiopia coffee, Ethiopia, those teams will now have beautiful edifices to play.
Okay.
And it improves the standard of their league.
Okay.
It's not Ethiopia. I think Hearts of Oak played an Ethiopian team.
St. George.
All these teams will now get the opportunity. No, Nathan, you see, I like the thinking of CAF these days.
Okay, hold on. Botswana, Namibia, and South Africa. So in January 2026, Botswana and South Africa announced a joint bid to host the 2028 AFCON.
Yeah.
So they say they want to come together.
The Trinity. So again, South Africa already have the facilities.
Yes.
What does it do to Botswana?
Now they'll have to.
And what does it do to which other country again?
Namibia.
So what does it do to them again?
They'll build.
That is it.
Okay. But in January this year, Botswana and South Africa announced a joint bid. So far, Namibia is out of the loop.
Okay. Yeah, but it helps Botswana a great deal. So, in no time, in addition to what Botswana is doing on the tracks, to that quality on the field as well. So that is how you spread development across board.
Okay.
You get me?
Okay.
Yeah. So
I hear Morocco too is interested, as you said.
Morocco won't give them again. Why?
Senegal, Senegal potentially with Mauritania. I'm reading.
Yeah.
Rwanda too are in the mix because I saw Paul Kagame and his 30-year-old sports minister in Morocco.
Yeah, but these days Rwanda
looking at a few things.
So I think it was Kawa. Kawa was in Rwanda.
Yes. For
and he said
basketball.
He said a video of the Amavubi stadium.
Yes.
Oh, is it the stadium?
The national stadium in Kigali.
Nathan, did you see that stadium?
I saw it.
So they're on the way. You get it. Rwanda on the way. I think yes, Rwanda on the way. So Nathan, I'm saying that look, what CAF want to do with the Nations League, I think that if they stick to the plan and then move so it's the Amahoro Stadium. Yes, Amahoro Stadium. If they move it around Africa, oh come on, Nathan, in no time, every country will be ready. And it helps development of talent. It helps. So I mean, I'm all for it.
Okay.
I'm all for the Nations League. Every year something is happening. I mean, let's say. And it helps our local boys too. A few of them will get into the national team to play in the Nations Leagues. People, scouts will go after these boys, move them on as we want. Okay, me these days I'm not going to advocate for any local boy to stay here and play Hearts and say you get a chance to play for Black Stars. So it's hard. It's hard, and beyond that, you need a bit more quality. You remember when Sami Eje was imposed for the Stars?
Yes.
It was very good, right?
Yes.
But what did we do when we went to the World Cup? We brought in a goalkeeper.
We did.
Who had experience from abroad. True of us.
Yes, we did.
If Benjamin Asare mans the post for Black Stars, in fact, I saw him against Nigeria when we went to the Unity Cup.
Yeah.
When he came up against quality strikers, in fact, even that game, we didn't have the Osimhen and Kodel. What happened? Did you see the goals he considered? Very good. Let's continue.
Sporty FM.
But which goalkeeper doesn't concede goals?
Oh, but you see, when Atizigi is imposed.
But Atizigi too has considered a fair number.
No, I'm saying that. When Atizigi is imposed, and Benjamin Asare is imposed.
Some of the results, Ray, you lash Otoado with were attained with Atizigi imposed.
But when his defenders decided to go AWO, what was he supposed to do? Those goals we considered against Sudan. What was Atizigi's rule? What does his rule?
Yeah, so the same thing.
No, but I'm saying
so you can't also point out Benjamin Asare and call him a bad guy.
Atizigi, his composure, his command, his aura, how not bothered he is when it's imposed. He's not scared.
Yeah, but Benjamin
He's not
Asare
scared.
is equally calm.
Oh, Nathan. Me, I saw Benjamin Asare in London.
This is Sporty FM.
That's what I'm
the
doing.
voice of
Between
sports.
then and now, I think he's a calm
And you see,
goalkeeper.
the real litmus test will be the Germany game.
No problem. We'll see about that. We'll see. 9:07. Your comments are welcome. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. This is the Sporty Breakfast live on Sporty 106.1 FM. My name is Nathan. I'm here with Raymond Yamado. My super production team is in place, giving us all the support. Yeah, your comments are welcome. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. Let's talk about the UEFA Champions League now. Sporting Club Portugal beat Paris Saint-Germain by 2-1. Defending champions Paris Saint-Germain losing there. Tottenham Hotspur, they beat Borussia Dortmund by 2-0. And Villarreal 1, Ajax Amsterdam 2. So those are the results from the Champions League. I don't know which of the matches caught your attention. You can send us a comment. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. Ray, let me get your thoughts on. I don't know which result caught your eye the most.
Well, Bodo Glimt Manchester City. I was expecting Manchester City to bounce back. Now, after that disappointing result they got against Man United, a lot of us were expecting that they would bounce back, but they made life very difficult for themselves. And I understand why the signing of Gay is very important to them. Defensively, they need cover. Now, you look at a game where Man City had to give you a back four of Aitinori, Kuzanov, and then Rico Lewis. And there was the young man who played against United, what's his name? Max Allen.
Max Allen, yeah.
Nathan, that defense cannot protect Donnarumma. That defense cannot give Donnarumma any form of protection.
Okay.
Mind you, this is a Donnarumma who played with the likes of Pacho in front of him. Okay.
Marquinhos.
There's Marquinhos. There was Hakimi. And my good friend, the Portuguese guy, Neves.
Nuno Mendes.
This is Sporty
If you give him this
FM,
back
the
line
voice of sports.
against a very plucky Bodo Glimt side, playing in that match venue that everybody struggles in, I mean, it was always going to be difficult.
Okay.
And I think that once the intensity got to them, it was going to be a hard game, and they were not helped when they thought of getting back into the game when Sheki scored. I think 3 minutes after, Rodri got a red card, further making life difficult for them, and it was disappointing. But City would have to fix things really soon. You won't blame them much. They have a lot of players in hospital. They have a lot of players in hospital. I mean, there's no Kovacic in the team.
Sporty FM.
Savinho has health problems. Semenyo is not available. Bernardo Silva has yellow cards. John Stones has injury. He has an injury. Ruben Diaz has an injury. Of course, any team that has an injury list like this would struggle. Vadio, broken leg. So you get it. He doesn't have the full complement of his backline. And so teams that identify the challenge there would be quick to exploit that quality gap there. So City would have to figure it out. And that's why I'm excited that they have Gay in their fold now, who would give them some sort of protection. But you don't take anything away from Bodo Glimt. It was a game they won without possession. City would always boss possession on the end. Okay, and it was a game they did their job, they did their business. They finished the game with an XG of 1.59. They scored 3 goals. That's good for them. In games like this, in tournaments like this, you pick your moments. And against City, they had an opportunity to get the world to see them and not write them off. I saw this Bodo Glimt team beat, I think it was Jose Mourinho's team. They beat them by 5 goals.
I think so. Yeah.
So they are a decent side, and no team coming up against Bodo should underrate them. I think Arsenal did a very good job. When you play against Inter Milan and the Giuseppe Meazza, and Inter Milan are a team that finished runners-up in last year's Champions League. There are no pushovers. Okay, and so far in the competition, Inter Milan have been one of the decent sides. They've looked quite okay in this year's Champions League, and so you would always expect them to give Arsenal a 10 test. But Arsenal passed the test with flying colours, and you look at that Arsenal team. All the players you expected to play were in there, apart from Rice.
Sporty FM.
But up front, Gabriel Jesus has given Arteta a lot to think about. He's given a lot to worry about because it was Trossard, Saka, Jesus up front for Arsenal, and they made sure they did the job. And that's what I'm saying. Any coach who has this dilemma ahead of a big game would possibly be looking at the player who is sharpest. You know, Gabriel Jesus has returned. He has a few games under his belt. But this was one of the games that he finally got back to getting some goals. Last time we saw him score was against Aston Villa. That was somewhere last year. But it's good to have him back in the goals. He gives them a lot of options up front because he's not a static striker. He goes to the left, comes to the right, plays to the middle. It gives them lots of options. I think Arsenal did a job to ensure that they are still that team that have not lost a single game in the Champions League this season. Almost doing what Liverpool did until the last game of last year's Champions League group. So it's looking good for us now, and I think that helps their confidence. It helps their confidence going into a big game over the weekend. And I think Mikel Arteta is gradually beginning to make Arsenal look like that team everybody should fear. Maybe not in the Premier League, but in Europe, he's beating everything that's in front of him.
Yeah.
And in competitions like this, that's what the team needs to galvanize them for the ultimate. And so he's doing the business. Real Madrid, it was a statement win. For anybody who wrote them off after that Albacete loss, they found a way to steady the ship against Levante, won that game quietly without conceding 2-0. And yesterday, when they were confronted with Monaco, they made sure they did their business. Mbappe was in fine form. Vinicius was absolutely off the play. In fact, he was the Vinicius we've known. He looked like the Vinicius that many were rooting for to win the Ballon d'Or a few years ago. And I think that he's beginning to Abeloa is beginning to figure out how best he can get this team to function. I think he's trying to put together an efficient machine rather than a team that's high on confidence, having a lot of fear factor about them. No, he's just trying to get them to keep it simple and get the job done. In yesterday's game, Real Madrid could have scored more. I mean, they played a game. They hit 25 shots on target, 25 shots, 5 on target. Finished the game with an XG of 3.86. Nathan, these numbers can give you more goals. These numbers, they created lots of chances, and I think that he will just have to take his time. Arbeloa will just have to take his time, and then gradually get these players to believe. He's still playing Valverde at right back. Yes. Not his favorite position, but he's found a way to bring Adagula into the team, and he has the likes of Mastantuono also.
Yeah, last night Mastantuono played. I think he scored a goal and set up.
So it helps.
Not set up.
It helps. So we'll see. I still think that defensively, Real Madrid are a bit suspect because he had to take Couture yesterday. Couture made as many as 4 or 5 goal-saving saves.
But they're not routine saves.
Oh, but I mean, Nathan.
I mean, I watched
these
are sound like routine saves.
No, but if your defenders are leaving your goalkeeper exposed like that, clearly there are issues. Hussein Asensio, Camavinga. So he's had to play with 2 makeshift left back. Wing backs or lateral defenders. Camavinga is not your natural number 3. Same for Valverde, who's not a natural number 2. So again, a few defensive issues here and there, but no coach goes to tell Don Perez that he needs defenders.
But if you need defenders, you need defenders. Or you can't tell Florentino Perez that you need defenders.
When Perez has given you the likes of Mbappe and Vinicius, he's expecting you to concede 5 goals and score 7. Okay, I mean, I may be wrong, but he's giving you the best attackers in the world. My friend, go and win games. So, no, and that is Don Perez for you. Are you forgotten? When a good friend Del Bosque went to ask for defenders, when Don Perez wanted to buy David Beckham, it didn't work. So that's Madrid for you. Yesterday, Tottenham shocked me. Prior to the game, I saw a long list of absentees for Tottenham Hotspur. A very, very long list. There was Kudus out injured, Bissouma, Bentancur, Davis, Kulusevski, Madison, Palhinha, Richarlison, Tel, Van de Ven. It was a long list of absentees. So the question on the lips of many was, how Tottenham going to fight against a very difficult Dortmund side? And Dortmund have been, they've been okay. They've been decent this season. They've been decent. I mean, not the Dortmund we've always known, but they've looked a bit more consistent than Tottenham, let me put it that way. And so it was a game that many thought could trigger the sack. That could possibly be Thomas Frank's last game. But he went in there with what he had. Solanke suddenly, interestingly, became the star of the night. He played Odobert and the likes. There was great. There was Bergvall. There was Danso, Poro and the likes. But he managed to get a result. It was quite a surprising result. And how they managed to keep Dortmund quiet in the game also shocks me. But it just tells you, well, the European game is different. Champions League is very different.
Dortmund had a man sent off.
Yeah, but I mean, Nathan, even with a man sent off, I still think that Dortmund started that game with a disadvantage. They considered in the 14th minute, man sent off at 10 minutes after.
Yeah.
They still found a way to make Tottenham scored early. And Tottenham made sure they controlled that game right to the finish. Good for Thomas Frank. I just hope that his team would carry on the momentum. I think that Tottenham are not in a good place right now. And he has to quickly get their Premier League form up and running. I think that has been a challenge. In the Champions League, they've been there and about. At least if they don't finish in the top 7 or the top 8, they could get a chance to possibly get in with the playoff opportunity. So Tottenham, they also surprised me last night. I think my surprise on the night was Tottenham. So Tottenham, yes, Tottenham are in the automatic places. in the Champions League.
Okay.
So they're in the top 8. So they possibly get a bye in the next stage, and they might fancy their chances. Last time we saw them in the Europa League, they were getting a few results here and there. Before we knew they were in the finals, they beat Manchester United. They won it. You never know. And it was the same patchy form in the Premier League for them. So maybe Lightning could strike the same place twice for Tottenham Hotspur this season too. But they looked very good yesterday. They controlled that game and made sure they did the job. So these 3 games really, I think PSG losing doesn't surprise me. There's something about Enrique. Enrique, I think he's beginning to understand that you don't need to win every game.
Yeah.
You get it. You don't need to win every game to be in the next stage of the competition. And so why don't I manage my players a bit? Why don't I get to see what I want to see with different players in the team? Though yesterday he played almost his full squad, I still think that Porto also played a very good game. Yeah. Sporting played a very good game. Sporting played a very good
they
game.
did.
And I'm not surprised they were able to get the result. For me, I think
irony was that the goals were scored by ex-Marseille player Luis Suarez.
Yeah. And you know,
This is Sporty.
There are games that teams lose, and then you say, well, the performance was off. And there are games that teams lose, and you say, well, they played well, but something didn't click on the night.
Yeah.
Because it was a game PSG controlled.
Scored 2 goals that were I think 3 goals that were disallowed or so.
And then you look at the match stats. The match stats tell a different story to the scoreline. So for PSG, you write them off at your own peril. They lose games like this, but the next moment they're up to something else. So it was a disappointing result for them, but knowing PSG, you can't write them off in competitions like this. They would always come good. Then yesterday, Dembele and the likes played. He had almost the full complement of his squad. That's what I'm saying. There are games that, I mean, you give it your all, but the football goals also decide what the outcome would be. So, because if you ask me if Sporting really deserve the victory, I'll say, well, when you allow PSG to control all of the ball and you manage to get 2 goals, you take the 3 points and run. But in terms of the performance, we all know PSG were on top. But we'll see how things go for Enrique. I don't know if Enrique is beginning to lose interest in that PSG team. I don't quite get it, because he lost another cup competition.
Yeah, the Coupe de France.
Before winning in the league. And then he's lost yet another cup competition. I don't know what it is with him, but well, we'll see. Maybe when you and your guys sit down inside French football, you tell us a bit of what's happening at PSG, because you expect them to win games, they lose. You expect games to be difficult for them, they make it look easy. It's
I know that
it's an interesting one. Because over the weekend they made life complete.
Oh yeah.
I would have these 3 games. If I was expecting PSG to lose any game, it was that Lille game. But they lost to Paris. They lost to Sporting.
Yeah, of course. Lost to Paris FC in the Cup, and then they've lost to Sporting in the Champions League. Kelvin Owusu is back. Kelvin, your thoughts on last night's Champions League games? The Champions League returned last night after the break from 2025. I don't know which of the games you were following or what your thoughts are on any of them.
Well, I watched a number of games, starting with the Manchester City match, and I don't know what's wrong. At the end of the day, they will still give money to Pep Guardiola to go and solve his issues. Well, of course. You see, I've always had a problem with Guardiola, and some may think that, you don't like him because he's winning, but he likes it soft. Mm-hmm. He likes it soft, molded, and then he continues with it. Mm-hmm. But when he's in crisis, and I always say it, have we seen Pep Guardiola, pick up a team in crisis, reorganize, restructure, and put them in good shape? It's either he picks up an already made team, adjust it, and then maybe put finishing touches to it. And then when the team starts collapsing, he runs away. That is it.
That is
from Barca. Yeah. The team was already set by Frank Rijkaard. Yeah. When he came, he only came to have individual differences and confusion with other players, and he let them go. Wasn't that what happened?
Well, yeah, but you can say he was vindicated because he let Ronaldinho.
Yes, he will be vindicated because the team had already been set. Okay, the spine was there. So just attach and let's go. When he picked up Bayern Munich, what happened?
Of course, Bayern was a
Bayern is an already made team in Germany. Whatever you want, it is bought for you. If you had the likes of Xabi Alonso at that time, look at the players he had. And he still bought more. But when he failed to win the Champions League, the team was collapsing. Where did he go? He ran away. Say sabbatical. Then Manchester City.
Pellegrini had started a good.
Thank you. He had finished. Marcus Pellegrini and the team was already there. All he had to do was they should buy more players for him. Players who were performing at top levels, and then he was going to work magic with them. And they bought the players. Didn't they? They bought the players for him.
Yeah.
And he worked with the players, and he got the results. So when he came, the players he didn't like, and he still vindicated with them. Yaya Toure and the likes, he got rid of them, but he got in players, the attachments that he wanted. Brought in Rodri, but the spine was there. All he had to do was chop and change.
Checkbook manager.
And now look, you see, he's contemplating on leaving. It started from last 2 seasons, but because Sikane, he should have left with Chiki Begistan. Ask yourself why Chiki has left, and he's still there. Because no club is willing to pay that amount. And no club is going to give you that luxury again. So he's still waiting to see whichever club can give him that luxury. Nobody can tell me going into yesterday's game, the Manchester City lineup, Bodo Glimt was going to beat them.
Yeah.
How do you allow Bodo Glimt? And the striker who scored yesterday, he hadn't scored in 16 games. And he got a brace.
You got a wolf defenders.
Nobody can tell me these are
defenders in front of you.
Kushanov and Max Alain.
No, but
Kushanov shouldn't be bad for Manchester City playing against Bodo Glimt. Rico Lewis.
Yeah.
Ed Nuri. From his Wolverhampton Wanderers days to Manchester City to his time with the Algerian national team, nobody can tell me he's a bad player. Now let's look at the midfield. Rodri. Fine, he's coming from, a very lengthy injury.
Yeah.
But Rodri cannot tell me that Patrick Berg in that midfield should dominate him. With Tijani Reynes, AC Milan.
Of course.
Nico O'Reilly, who's picked up, form, played in the Premier League. Ryan Cherky, Erling Haaland, back in his home. And then Phil Foden.
Yeah. I mean, that's a midfield.
It's a decent.
That's a midfield and attack combination.
And the goalkeeper was Gianluigi Donnarumma.
That should be a mix that should get you.
And it tells me that I don't know. Pep cannot blame anyone for this. He needs to accept responsibility and make sure that Manchester City start performing better. And he made only one substitution, bringing Umar Mamouche on for Phil Foden. But let's look at the players that he had on the bench. There was Nathan Ake. There was how do we call him? Divine Mukasa. Jeremy Doku was there, and then Tyron Samba. Fine, McGahey, personal reasons after signing. Nico Gonzalez knock, Vardio broken leg, Diaz hamstring, muscle injury to Savinho, Oscar Bob hamstring, John Stones thigh injury, Kovacic.
That's a long injury list, yeah.
Matthews Nunes. Please, they say injury list now. If you have, you should be able to play. That is what they say. Pep cannot tell me that he hasn't been looking in the under 21s to see which player will fit into his setup when he has these injuries. And that is why I praise Andoni Iraola from last season. He had virtually 16 first team players unavailable. Pep, you have some. You have many of them.
Yeah.
Just add up and then get a Bodo Glimt. As a Wenger will use the under 19s to come. Ferguson will use Fabio and his brother. He'll play 7 defenders and win this game. I think Pep should start looking at himself. If he thinks that yes, it's time for him, he should just leave City and allow some.
This will be his last season.
You suspect it's his last season.
He won't go beyond 2026. He won't go beyond 2026.
Well, wait to see.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Because
I think
City will now have to think of who potentially replaces him.
That was when there were rumors that Enzo Maresca was speaking with Manchester.
With Man City, okay.
He was still in charge of Chelsea.
Enzo is still there.
Yeah, so
Enzo is an option.
So Enzo, because
he's the biggest option for them
because
now.
of his experience with Pep.
Yes, he's the biggest option for them now. So now that was quite a terrible performance. I said, I don't know, Erling Haaland, people complain about Jokers, and I said that Haaland is also the same without service.
Of course.
Without service, he's useless.
Without service, and when they are marked out of games.
Yes. He's virtually Useless. Now, the other game that I think I knew Arsenal were going to fire AC Milan because Kivu and his nonsense is only in the Serie A that clubs will allow Kivu to be beating them, because you look at how he sets up his team, and there are times I ask questions. There are so many loopholes. Fine, the Serie A may be intense, but if you meet a more tactical and more brainy side, they always have issues because they play the ball behind them, and by the time the defenders realize, Serie A thrives on aggression.
Yes.
So if they meet teams who are not playing to, complement or like to suit them, they find it difficult. And Arsenal just repair. And yesterday, you're even talking about, when we were down there in the newsroom, we were talking about Arsenal recounting what
Yes. At the
so yesterday, once the third goal came, I was like, oh, Martinelli and the lights are on. They could possibly add 2 and then repeat it. But Inter were not willing to concede again. Now to Real Madrid. I have said that Vinicius Jr. is a diabolic soul.
I will not allow you to
He's
attack
an
my
intentional.
player. I will not allow you to attack my player.
He's an intentional, orchestrator of evil do's.
Oh.
No, if you look at how he played yesterday, the urgency, the kind of brilliant passing he made, his positioning, his hunger. I'm like, so you can play like this? And even yesterday, the complaints about Alonso letting him track back. Yesterday we saw him.
He was tracking back.
But wait too.
So what?
But every tracking back has instructions. When they say track back, go and play, go and support number 4, go and support number 5, go and support CDM. When you finish, come and play 11.
No.
So I was like, come on, this player. And in all sense, you see, after they sacked Alonso, the Madrid fans realized, come on, this gentleman is growing on.
Yeah, yesterday
that was why over the weekend. They booed him. Yesterday he was also booed. So you see, when he scored his goal, Mbappe wanted to, he just brushed Mbappe off and then quickly went to restart the game because he still wanted more. He wanted to be dominant and send a statement that I am good. I think it was a 5-star performance from Real Madrid. Look at Mastantuono. Other goalless pass to Kylian Mbappe, and Mbappe was always going to score. I think that I've said it time again. If Real Madrid are in their mood and they want to play,
Beat everybody.
they can beat everybody because the kind of quality they have. Mastantuono, other goalless, Fede Valverde, and Fede Valverde was part of Vinicius' group against Alonso. Yesterday we saw him,
The anti-Alonso group.
and I'm like, come on, so you gentlemen can play like this.
They
And under Alonso, you were playing like you guys were not normal.
no. They decided to do the manager in.
Alonso's tactics, the tactics. Well,
It was
no, but when Alonso was coach,
Yeah.
how many times did you see Valverde trying to join attack or trying to position himself in the middle of the park to influence games? You rarely see that. A lot of these players like to play with a lot of freedom. So when you try to restrict them a bit,
What freedom?
hurts.
I'm the coach. I'm the manager. Are you telling me these players will come and play football and then they will say that our players, yes, I should play to suit my players. I should abandon my philosophy,
sometimes coaches
my
must
style.
adapt. Coaches must learn to
Players
adapt.
must also adapt.
This is
Players must adapt.
Like Vinicius, like Vini.
Sports.
Vini is that player who always wants to go forward. He always wants to do
That-
things.
I mean,
he wants
that-
to create magic. After
Nobody disputes that.
So when
the team is out
see-
of possession, you see, the problem was pressing high up. Just stay in your zone, but make sure that when the defense starts, it starts with you.
Yes.
So you press high up so that in losing the ball, it may not be too difficult for us in trying to retrieve it in midfield
Now-
and keeping our balance.
Yes. Now, when Vini does the high press, and opponents beats the press, now Vini again has to track back all the way to go and support a Kamavinga.
So you see, the coaches will tell you that when you do it well, our midfield will just pop up so that we would have a very good organization and defend properly. Because when you press high up, it means that the midfield also moves a bit up, and then we consolidate and trying to gain, that possession. But unfortunately for them, it had not been that way. Yesterday he played at right back, but he was playing as an inverted, right back, didn't he?
That is how Valverde wants to.
Alonso was using him that same way, but this gentleman was not willing to do
He
it.
didn't want to play.
Now Abeloa is using him and he's playing. Yesterday, Eduardo Camavinga was playing as a left back. Look at how he was playing invertedly into that midfield. So I think it's fine. Maybe Abeloa understands the players, and I think it's about man.
Thank you very much.
Alonso did not get it right.
Headmaster.
But these players should know, and I like it from the Madrid fans. They gave it to those who misbehaved, especially Vini. That gentleman, Real Madrid is Real Madrid. Even the likes of Figo, Beckham, all those guys, they came and they went. You have not won any Ballon d'Or. You have not been gotten to anywhere. You started misbehaving. Keep quiet and play. And I liked it. I like that energy from him. The hunger to give back to the fans what they actually deserve. But for PSG, I also understand Luis Enrique is also he did his best. He built the team. It looks like they are also going.
They are going through their own,
their own difficulties, and it wasn't really a good sign. But they had 3 goals chopped off,
Yes, and they played well.
Yeah, they really played well, and I think the fine margins did count. And unfortunately for them, it went in favor of Sporting Club Portugal. And Sporting Club, you cannot begrudge them when they want to play in Europe. Yeah. They're a very difficult side to beat. And yesterday you could understand, but you look at the PSG midfield. They are chopping and changing.
Enrique is trying different things.
Yeah.
He's not settling on an 11. He's trying stuff, and I also think because some of the players are injured. So players are coming back.
Neves is unavailable, and Kang In, who could step in and join, is also unavailable. So now every now and then he has to, make changes, make adjustments to it. So I understand, but Sporty also put together a very good fight. Ribot just seems to have, picked up his team. After Amorim left, they were struggling a bit. The assistant couldn't really give them what they wanted, and now, Borges is just, trying to put the pieces together, and it was quite good to see Luis Suarez bagging in the brace. Yes, not the Suarez Uruguay guy who disturbed our piece. This is the younger version of him. So PSG have their own doing, but I think that yesterday was quite a very good night, interesting. BRL Thomas Partey, we saw him. Yeah, you saw him in action. The 71st minute, he got his yellow card, but it was quite a decent game for him until things started to fall apart for them, and then he was substituted later on in the game. Just moments after his yellow card, Dani Parejo had to come on to replace him, but it was quite a very, very good game. So we just hope that the rest will continue in Milan. But Thomas Frank saved himself. 2-0 victory.
Really?
Yeah.
You think if he had lost,
he would have been sent away? Yesterday I was listening to the reaction. I even played it that he said he went for breakfast, lunch with the top officials, and then there was nothing spoken about him being given an ultimatum in the job. But you shouldn't forget that the owners or the top brass will not come and tell you this. Lose and then you'll be sacked.
That is true.
Lose and then you'll be sacked. They don't care. They don't care about you, because the wrath that will come from the fans, they may have to do it to punish or to sacrifice someone.
That is
It will
true.
be the best option for them to sacrifice. It was a good victory though. Dominic Solanke with the ball touched his leg 3 times before it entered the net.
Fluke goal.
Yeah, and I think Christian Romero, as always, I don't know, that guy has really picked up. If aside Gabriel Magalhaes of Arsenal, he seems to be scoring a lot more times as a centre back, and I think that is good and positive for his team. So yesterday was quite good. It was sweet, yes, mixed reactions, mixed feelings. Maxos once again was on target, but his side failed to take advantage of their one-man advantage over Copenhagen to win their game, and ended 1-1 between them. So yes, it's getting interesting. Next week will be the final lash to go, and then we wait to see which teams would be scrambling for the final slots to get into the next stage. So after today, we'll get to see the table properly, and then we will make our calls on which clubs we think that could make the progression based on the fixtures for the final match week. But Madrid, 5-star performance. Arsenal and Arteta dominant. Just 2 goals conceded in this season Champions. 7 victories. Gyökeres, and then if you have your strikers getting on the score sheet, it's quite important and interesting. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
you can't take forward steps when your strikers are not scoring. You need that, and for us now that there's the Gabriel Jesus option, in case things aren't really working well for Gyökeres, is actually really, really good. Of course, you have threats from Saka and Trossard, but it's always brilliant to have all these options available. Today, Galatasaray face Atletico Madrid. Karabakh, Raymond's favorite team. They are at home to Eintracht Frankfurt.
I'll talk a bit about my team.
Atalanta at home to Bilbao. Bayern Munich face Royal Union Saint-Gilloise. Chelsea at home to Paphos. Hey, Chelsea, please, no drama tonight. Juventus face Benfica in a very interesting clash. Marseille host Liverpool. This should be fun. Newcastle take on PSV Eindhoven. And Slavia Prague are at home to Barcelona. Barcelona are hoping to bounce back. They lost over the weekend and they are hoping to bounce back. Of course, the early kickoffs, Galatasaray versus Atletico Madrid and Karabakh taking on Eintracht Frankfurt. Ray, you said you wanted to say something.
Yeah, Nathan, you see, my team Karabakh find themselves in a very difficult position. They are 1 point off getting into the playoffs. Just 1 point. And for Eintracht Frankfurt, they find themselves 33rd in the league standing. They are 4 points off getting into the playoff spots.
Yes.
So Karabakh have it all to do. And you know the Azerbaijan league took a break before Christmas. So Karabakh have been playing a lot of friendlies.
Yes.
So they come into this game.
They don't have rhythm.
You know, the rhythm will be a bit of a challenge. But I think that they should be able to see out Eintracht Frankfurt. Eintracht Frankfurt themselves in the German Bundesliga have been conceding lots of goals. You know, in their last 3 games they've played in Germany, in the last three, they've conceded 9.
This is Sporty FM, the voice of sports.
That's a lot.
They've conceded 9 in their last 3, and clearly it doesn't. But you know, they've conceded 9, they've scored 8. So they are scoring, but they are conceding as well, and that would give Karabakh a lot of confidence because they would know that there's a very leaky defense and they can capitalize and take advantage of that weak backline. So we saw Karabakh play against Ajax. Remember, Karabakh played against Ajax. It was a hard-fought game. Karabakh took the lead a couple of times, allowed Ajax to come back into the game. But playing when Karabakh play at home, they are always a very difficult side to beat. Okay, when they play at the Tofik Baramov Stadium in Baku. And this year I'm taking you to Baku.
To what? For GP?
F1.
Oh no, I mean I'll go.
Yeah.
So I'm open to new experiences.
Yeah, so I'll take you to Baku, I'll take you to Monaco. And we'll see if we can do Silverstone. Yeah, so you don't worry.
I wanted to go to Abu Dhabi.
So, no. We won't go.
Abu Dhabi.
We won't go to Abu Dhabi. Let's go to the... Abu Dhabi is the last one.
Oh, it's the last race of the year.
We want to go when the action is hot. So, Nathan, so Karabakh, I'm looking out for Karabakh tonight. But those of you who want to play cha-cha with this game, there will be a lot of goals in that game. Karabakh and Eintracht Frankfurt.
There'll be goals.
There'll be goals in that game. So you can take. But today's games, Barcelona, Slavia Prague, PSV, Newcastle, Marseille, Marseille, Liverpool. I think that's a game for us, the neutrals, who want to watch.
Oh yeah, we want to see what Liverpool would do.
Yeah, so
Marseille have been I mean, over the weekend they won heavily at Angers. I was watching that game. They won 5-2. Greenwood was hot. Let's see how Liverpool can handle that front line of Igor Peixao and Mason Greenwood. The two of them are playing some really, really good football.
Yeah.
Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang coming off the bench. But the problem with Marseille is this. One, they will give goals up. We saw them come back to beat Newcastle. The other problem for Marseille is their disciplinary record. They seem to pick up cards very quickly, and it could be a problem. They just need to keep their heads screwed on tight.
And Chelsea play Paphos.
Oh yes.
Senior. No, Nathan, the last time Chelsea played Paphos, it was a very difficult game.
Yeah, of course it was. Away from home.
It was a very difficult game.
But Paphos are coming to Stamford Bridge, and that's why I think Chelsea will ultimately get the result.
But Chelsea haven't faced Paphos. No, Chelsea haven't faced Paphos. But the teams that have faced Paphos this season haven't had an easy ride.
But Paphos, I think, are poor travellers.
Very well. That I agree. But
Sporty FM.
Trust, Senor.
If you look at Paphos, for example, their away record, 3 games played, 2 points. They are really not the best travellers.
Yes, but no. So what I was trying to say was that Chelsea has struggled against these banana skins in the Champions League this time. Oh yeah, against it was Chelsea played against one of these teams. I think it was in the Champions League. Let me. It was Karabakh.
Yeah.
You made a meal of it.
Yeah.
And Chelsea again. Well, we'll see. It's normally when a new manager comes, the players always want to respond. So we'll see. Maybe it could be a walk in the park. But Paphos, they could concede. Chelsea on their day.
Look,
if they turn on the heat,
Chelsea will get the result.
There'll be no hiding place for Paphos.
I think they'll probably win 2 or 3-0.
There'll be no hiding place for them. Chelsea themselves in the Champions League. Let me show you where they sit. Chelsea themselves. They are.
Chelsea are 14.
Yes,
they are in the playoff zones.
Yeah, just 3 points off the automatic qualifications to the next stage. So it's a win that would help them go up the ladder and possibly fight for an automatic spot to the next stage in their final game. So we'll give Chelsea 3 points in this one. In the final game, I think Bayern win. Bayern will definitely do their job over Union Saint-Gilloise. And then Benfica, Juventus. Benfica, I think they're out of it. Benfica, I don't think they stand a chance of.
Okay, Benfica, of course, they are out of the qualifying zones, the playoffs. For our listeners, the league table looks like this. So the top 8 we know automatically qualify to the group stage.
Yeah.
As of now, Arsenal are in position 1, 21 points. Real Madrid on 15 points. Bayern Munich 15 points. Tottenham 14. PSG 13. Sporting Club de Portugal 13. Manchester City 13. And Atalanta 13. So these teams are in pole position, or they are in a good place now. Okay, Arsenal are the safest.
Yeah, I think Madrid and Bayern are also safe.
Madrid and Bayern look like they are safe. Spurs, PSG on 13 points. So PSG, if they win their next game, they have 16. That should be enough. Now, Inter Milan on 12 points. Atletico Madrid on 12. Liverpool also on 12. Dortmund on 11. Newcastle, Chelsea, Barcelona all on 10. Marseille on 9, Juventus 9, Galatasaray 9, Bayer Leverkusen 9 points as well, and then Monaco 9 points. PSV on 8, Olympiacos on 8, Napoli on 8, and FC Copenhagen also on 8. So between Inter and Copenhagen, they are all in the playoffs. Let's not forget that if teams finish 9th to 24th, they'll go into a playoff against each other. And then the survivors will join the team that finishes, or the teams that finish in the top 8. And then those 16 teams go into the round of 16, and the competition evolves from there as we know it. So this is what we are talking about. Those in the first 8 spots: Arsenal, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Tottenham, PSG, Sporting, Man City, and Atalanta. They are currently in the automatic qualifying spots, but lots of that could change on the final day or ahead of the final day, because there'll be some matches tonight, there'll be some movement here and there, and then the final week when it shows up, we'll know who potentially is going to make it through, who will not make it through, and all of that in the UEFA Champions League. This is where we wrap it up on the Sporty Breakfast. Tomorrow we'll open the phone line. Tomorrow we'll open the phone line, because now we'll have played 2 nights of the Champions League, and then the table will look different, and then we'll hear from our listeners.
Chelsea fans will come.
Chelsea fans, yes. Well, I'd love to hear from Chelsea fans tonight after they beat Paphos 3-0. Goals from Joao Pedro.
5.
I'll beat them 5. Okay, goals from Joao Pedro, Pedro Neto. I don't know if Delap will come off the bench to score. Garnacho will get 1.
This is Sporty FM, the voice of sport.
All right, that's how we wrap it up this morning on the Sporty Breakfast. Raymond Yamado did this with me. Many thanks to Kelvin Owusu-Ansah, who rejoined. Shout out to my DJ Fidelis, my production team Fly, Emmanuel Ayamga, Immortal Kwame Jakwe Champo, Abigail Senasosu, and Aneki Amankwa. Shout out to AJ as